Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report, where Fred Altvater and I check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. If it happened in golf, we have it for you. And today we have a topic that is controversial for some if you're Billy Horschel, but it's amazing for some others. So let's talk about the arm lock Potter, Fred. Is it should be banned? Should we allow it? What's your take on this? Is it illegal? Is people gaining some advantage of it? What do you think?
Well, let's approach it here from a couple different ways. So we've seen a couple players switch over to this, but let's go back a few years, like maybe like 20 years ago. Bernhard Langer, if you remember, he was the first guy that I ever saw do this. Hold the putter down and then hold it onto his arm and swing from his left shoulder. He was the first, and or Bernhard went through like three different sessions of the yips, right? And so he ended up using the chest anchor with the long putter, and now has pulled it away from his chest, but still uses the long putter. But that worked for him back then. We've seen several players go to this over the years. We've recently seen Colin Morikawa start doing it. Kevin Kisner has not been making as many of the 10-foot putts that he's used to seeing go in, and so he's been tinkering around with it a little bit. So it has some merit. And so from a teaching situation, Carlos, it has a lot of things that are good. So there's different methods of putting. Some guys use their hands. I go back to the Ben Crenshaw method, where he just turned those shoulders and rocked those shoulders and kept the putter head, kept that blade on line for a long period of time. And so that's what I kind of like to teach. And this arm lock method falls into that. It just uses the left shoulder as the hinge, and it's straight down to the ball from there. And so you just lock your hand over the putter handle so that it can't move, and your hands can't go like this. It holds everything in line and keeps the putter face square. So from a teaching standpoint, I like it a lot. Whether you just use it as a training aid when you're practicing, or whether you take it to the course, that's up to you. Now, from the second point, Billy Horschel says it's anchoring, it should be banned. I don't think it's anchoring in any way, stretch of the imagination. And it's not against the body, it's against the arm, which the arm is free swinging anyhow. How is that anchoring? I don't know how you can make a case for that. I don't get it. So anyhow, there is some good reasons to do it, if nothing else than to practice on the putting green with it, so you get the feel of the left arm going through the ball and not moving the hands and opening and closing the putter face. So that would be a good thing right there. Billy Horschel sounds a little bit like sour grapes to me, because you're getting beat, but you don't, you're allowed to use it. You don't have to, if you don't, what they say, try it, if it works, do it. But I don't know, Carlos. There's a lot being said about it. Guys are switching to it. They're trying it out. It's getting some notice. So we thought we'd talk about it a little bit tonight.
I don't know, Fred, but let's put it this way. I mean, if you remember 2011, Keegan Bradley won with the
Belly.
putter, right, with being anchored to his belly. Then 2 years later, we saw Adam Scott anchoring to his chest. So in 2016, the USGA and the RNA,
Ernie Els was winning with the longer putter too, and so
yeah, so they
USGA
noticed
said,
this.
nope, can't have it.
Yeah, they said, hey, this is not good. So they dropped the hammer on it. Hey, rules in place. Beginning 2016, it's not going. So okay, no anchor against the belly, chest, or chin. Now, only one non-traditional putting method was part, which is this one, the arm lock, popularized by Matt Kuchar. Allows for the grip to rest, like you're saying, against the forearm, creating a fixed point for the stroke. So along with that, we can see Bryson DeChambeau and Webb Simpson, who have also benefited greatly from that. If you see, Bryson DeChambeau went from 145th in strokes gained putting to 32nd and 28th the following season with this arm lock putter. Simpson noticed the same thing. I mean, he went from 174th, 77th to 5th and 11 and 13 in the next 3 to 4 years. Even Will Torres, who I've been praising about him in the Masters spotlight with that arm lock putter by his side. So it's not fixing, but when you come to think about it, you really are fixing it against your forearm. So there, you're actually locking it, which is the arm lock, right? But you are aiding the way that you're keeping it straight, which is something similar to when you have it against your chest or against your belly. So they do, I would say there is a point to it, because the normal traditional way of putting, you have to balance your putter to make sure you really don't hit it, that you keep it straight to hit it through. But in this case, yes, it's being aided by your arm as a way of trying to keep it straight. So I would say there's some merit to it, but again, there's a reason maybe why the USGA and the RNA didn't feel like it should be, but maybe they'll revise this now and say, hey, yeah, I think so, because there's some players right now, like I just mentioned, they have been getting that boost in the putting rankings.
Yeah, as long as that putter head doesn't come up under your arm and start touching your chest or something like that, I have no problem with it. I think it's great. I think it's I like the concept behind it, to be quite honest with you. And when I've struggled putting, I go back to, I don't use a long putter, but I go back to locking in my left wrist and making sure that I swing from my left shoulder. And that's what that's trying to do with that arm lock or that putter laid up against your forearm, is keeping that steady so that that putter head, your wrists can't go like this, or your hands can't go like this. It keeps it all square. So, you can do it. I don't know. Some people, you get the yips and you go to hit the ball and then they, move around. So, maybe it's an artificial thing trying to keep from doing that, but I don't know. I have no problem with it. I hope they don't change it. So, but Carlos, it's a hot topic right now.
It's hot, and of course, I bet you we'll see the RNA and USGA taking notice of it. If one of the big players comes and say something, not Billy, I mean, with all due respect, Billy, but we need some of the top 10 players to say that has to be anchored. Then we'll see something happening. But anyway, we thought you should enjoy and get your opinion on it. Hey, comment on this video, make it happen, and also subscribe to us so you can keep up with the latest in the world of golf information and news. Thank you. It's always our pleasure for us to bring you the latest on it. Until next time, thank you for joining us.